Well, hello, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be. Welcome to the Ray and Steve Show. Reach out with Ray and Steve. My name is Robbie Robinson. I'm coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. Ray and Steve are in the Bronx, New York. So let's bring them on into the show. Come on in, guys.
Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you, Robbie.
To be on.
Thank you very much. And first of all, congratulations to you, Robbie. A job well done. Amazing. Jam for Jesus. We're going to get to that later in the show. But kudos. Bravo, my man.
You and Sarah Nimitz. Oh, Sarah's my hero, man. Sarah is my hero. Look, she's so beautiful and so talented.
Top River, huh?
No, Robbie, take it easy, okay? I mean, come on.
I think you're beautiful and talented, Robbie. So,
yeah, you would.
Well, we got
unbelievable.
He's our musical director. What else?
Oh my God. Yeah, okay, very nice.
But we have a loaded show. But we have a special guest on the phone, Ray.
I'm gonna get him on the phone right now.
Okay, we have a special guest. We're gonna start the show off with this special guest. And we're going to pop his picture up on the screen. Let's get him up. And I think your viewers out there know who that gentleman is. And we get him on right about now.
Hey, Ray, how are you?
Andy, how are you, my brother?
I'm doing well, Ray. How's it going over there in the Big Apple?
All I know, Andy, is that you got about 1 million fans tonight wanting to hear your voice. And we got a beautiful picture of you up on the screen. And... yeah, exactly. And actually, we have a picture of you and me in the very first movie that we actually did.
That'll take some fans away.
Andy, do you remember the film?
Sure, of course.
Tell the fans what the name of the film was.
No, I would never tell.
Okay, I'm going to say it. It's called Blue Skies Again for Warner Brothers. And see, Andy won't mention it, but I'm proud of that movie. Hey, come on, man.
No, I'm just kidding you. Of course, we're proud of anything that it was a great experience. And we also work with a dear friend of mine, Julio Oscar Mechoso. Julio Oscar Mechoso was a great actor who passed away recently. And so we had a good time. I remember it very fondly.
And you know what? And we also, another lifelong friend that came out of that film was Joey Gian.
That's right, Joey. Exactly.
Joey went on to some great success during working on Knots Landing and shows like that. But, Andy, I was always very proud to be able to say that I got to work with the great Andy Garcia. And
thank you, Ray. I appreciate that.
Andy, now... this is basically more of a sports type of show per se, but we always have an actor on. Our musical director, you would know by the name of Robbie Robinson from Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Right. Uh-huh.
Well, are you a Frankie Valli fan?
Sure, of course. Who isn't?
Oh,
did you hear that, Robbie?
I did, yes. Well,
we all grew up, listening to Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons,
That's beautiful, and we will mention that. And also, another friend of yours that asked me to make sure that I said hello and that he loves you very, very much is the wonderful Jose Feliciano.
Oh, yes, of course. Another master. I love Jose, and I got a chance to play with him a little bit, a couple of times on stage and some events. He's a very, he's sublime.
I hear you. Now, Andy, would you tell the fans why music is so important to you?
Well, my culture, the Cuban culture, is music is sort of like you're sort of born into it. You're surrounded by it from day one. It's very much part of our existence, and from a very early age, I was very taken by it. Not only specifically Cuban music, but just music in general. I was growing up, I was a big Motown fan, and got into the blues and jazz later on in my life. But the Cuban music always struck a very particular chord in the marrow of my bones.
Now, Andy, do you really love baseball the way people think you do?
I do. I love baseball and basketball. I played when I was young. I played basketball and baseball and growing up all through high school, and so I was an aspiring jock, and I love the game. I used to go to a lot of when I was growing up in Miami, there was no professional team in the '60s, so we used to go to the Miami Stadium, which was the minor league team. They were called the Miami Marlins, and they were the minor league team for the Baltimore Orioles.
Right.
And so we used to go there with my dad and my brother and watch the games. But then during spring training, the Orioles would be down there, and we would go to the games and watch the Orioles, who had then like Boog Powell and not Frank Robinson, but
Brooks
Robinson, among many of the players on their team. Camilo Pascual, I think, was on
Right,
it also, the Cuban
right.
pitcher. And but then we'd have other teams come down that were in Florida to play.
Right.
So we saw the Reds come down. We saw
Right.
Tony Perez. We saw Tony Oliva play. The
Right.
Twins. So it was incredible to see him play in this sort of smaller stadium. It was very intimate. That stadium no longer is there.
How does it feel to know? I mean, I remember you as a kid, and so now, how does it feel to know that the greatest pitcher in the history of Cuba, Luis Tiant, is probably the biggest Andy Garcia fan in the world? How does it feel?
Oh my God! No, that's not true. Oh my God, Luis Tiant! I mean, that's amazing. Is he on the show with you guys? No.
He's been on this show many times, and
Oh my God! Well, if you know him, send him my love.
yes,
We all grew up. We're all great Luis Tiant fans. I mean, what an extraordinary life he had, and his documentary on his life is wonderful.
Yes,
It's
it is.
absolutely wonderful.
Yes,
if
it
anybody
is.
hasn't seen it, you got to try. Forget the title of it, but I'm sure if you just Google Luis Tiant documentary, it'll come up.
right.
It's incredible documentary on who he is, his journey, his character, and but just to watch him pitch, his style was so unique. Him and Camilo, what was the other one? Not Camilo Pascual, but
You're talking about Hernandez.
no, the one with the high kick. Played for
Oh,
the Giants.
Pascual, yeah.
Not Pascual.
No, are you talking about the Yankee, El Duque?
No, I'm talking about the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, Juan Marichal.
Juan Marichal.
Yes,
With that high kick of his. Man.
Right.
Incredible.
right.
Him and Louis had very particular styles of pitching. We grew up watching those guys.
And
We grew up watching those guys, and Bob Gibson and Sandy Koufax and all those guys. And it was a very unique time in baseball.
now, last year, 2 years ago, I actually had the wonderful pleasure of being in the film with Sofia Vergara called Bottom of the Ninth, and I got to meet your wonderful daughter, who's an incredible actress. Tell us a little bit.
That was with. It must have been Dominique, right?
Yes, Dominique.
My oldest daughter, yeah. No, she's great. She's a great, wonderful actress. She was on the last season of Mr. Robot last year, playing opposite Rami Malek.
Right.
They had a really beautiful relationship, and I have two older daughters who are actresses, both Dominique and Daniela, my middle daughter, and then Alessandra, my youngest daughter, who just kicked me out of the house because she was on a video doing a promotion for Miller High Life. She's a model. She says, "Please leave the room. I'm on the video, and we can hear you talking."
Oh, my God.
So now I'm outside. But and then my son is studying music at Loyola University in Chicago, in New Orleans.
Wow.
in the music industry program there. Yeah.
Wow.
So, Andy, this is Steve Vaccaro. I'm Ray Negron's co-host here. First of all, I admire your career for so many years.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I can take all the condolences I can get. But, I hope your family is safe during this pandemic. What advice would you give young people, aspiring actors and actresses? Broadway's dark till June 1st, but what advice would you give them?
Well, there's an old joke, and it's not a joke, but my dear friend Matt Damon once told me when someone asks him this question, he always says, "No, don't." Which figures if that discourages you, then you shouldn't have done it.
Right, okay.
But it's like anything else. It's preparation and study. It's like anything else. If you want to be a doctor, want to be a lawyer, there's a craft that you have to learn and get a hold of. And when you start understanding the craft, then you can start attempting to elevate it into an art form. But you have to study and prepare yourself, because you're going to be up against people who are.
Right.
And you need to be able to compete, and you need to show people that you have the ability to metamorphosize yourself to anything they need in a given moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do it this way, do it that way, and that's
Right.
part of the craft.
Right.
And so study and preparation is essential. Stay focused. It's a difficult profession, as we all know. But persistence and preparation breeds luck.
Well,
Yeah, thank you.
Andy, listen, I'm going to let you go because I know you're so darn busy, and we were lucky to have you on the show today. And, hey, much love to you always. And like I said before, always proud of our relationship and just in life in general. And I thank you, Andy.
Yeah, I love you, Ray.
Love
You're
you.
a good man, and it's great that we hooked up many years ago, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so.
Thank
If
you.
I'm ever back in New York after these crazy times,
Right.
and it's during baseball season, I'll join you for a game. We'll go out and have a hot dog out there at Yankee Stadium.
Love it. Can't wait, Andy. Take care of
All
yourself.
right, God bless Andy. The great
Be
Andy
well,
Garcia.
guys. Be safe.
Thank you, brother.
too, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Merry
you so very
Christmas.
much. Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That's the great Andy Garcia. And Robbie, what do you think of that?
That is so great. And the thing that he mentioned, Matt Damon comment,
Right.
saying that is something that I must have used that same quote for people who say, "My son really wants to get in the music business. What do you think?" Or somebody say, "Hey, I'd like to get in the music business," and that's one of my answers. My stock answers is don't, because if one little negative comment is going to dissuade you from it, then you're not cut out for it.
Right.
Very,
Well,
very profound.
well, for 29 years, Robbie, you've been having Jam for Jesus, and I tuned in for the very first time. It was amazing, the talent that you put on the screen, along with Sarah Nimitz, and just how you guys choreographed that and how you hosted it was remarkable, Robbie.
Well, it's been a labor of love. It's amazing that it's been 29 years. I can't even fathom the concept, but I'll tell you what I'm excited to talk to you about right now is not only Jam for Jesus, but Sarah and I have a new Christmas song that just got released last week.
Wow. Well, let's get Sarah on the show here. She's got that red hat incognito here. So there we go. There she is.
Hello.
Hey, how you feeling?
I'm feeling well. I've got you might be wondering why is there an ironing board behind me? It's because I'm ironing some new curtains.
Wow.
I'm getting all ready for Jam for Jesus. So it's
Wow. So you're not in your chair going back and forth. You're ironing today.
I'm in my chair, and I'm also, this is why I'm dressed so comfortably. I'm editing away for Jam for Jesus. So I'm just here at the computer working with Robbie and editing some videos.
You know what was cool when I was watching it, when one of the tapes went back to 29 years ago when Robbie first did it, and his brother was on, and I saw your reaction to it too, because that's kind of historic how everything progressed, right, Sarah?
It really is. It's incredible. I mean, especially in this business, if something lasts for 5 years, it's considered amazing. But 29 years?
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Wow. Where were you in the first show there, Sarah?
I think I was in a womb.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. But the song that you guys put together, we're going to showcase right now. Robbie or Sarah?
We were going to do that.
No, he wants to do it right away.
Okay.
Because Sarah's going to be unlimited. Sarah, talk about this song that you guys put together.
This song is called Sound of Christmas. And, Robbie called me about a month ago now, maybe, and said, I have this idea for a song, Sound of Christmas. And it was one of these things that just took off immediately. And I heard a melody and sang that to Robbie. And then we were going back and forth. And before you know it, this song was created. So it's late for Christmas songs because, you usually write them in the summer. But yeah, here it is.
And I loved how you guys premiered it because it was at the very end of the telecast. It was like, I got to wait. I got to see this. I got to see this. I got to see this.
Yes.
And it paid off.
Robbie wanted to build anticipation.
Yeah.
That's called a tease, isn't it, Ray?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But well, without further ado, let's check out this song that you guys creatively put together. It's a hit.
I love the sound of Christmas on the radio. Alvin, the Chipmunks, and Nat King Cole, we're singing together the songs we know. While we watch the snow, I love the sound of Christmas when sleigh bells start to ring, gathering together and caroling, joy and laughter for old and young. Christmas time has come. I love the sound of Christmas. Joy is in the air. The sound of Christmas. Music here, there, everywhere. I love the sound of Christmas. Hear those reindeer paws waiting by the fire for Santa Claus. Angel choirs dressed in white. Christmas time is here tonight. Here tonight. I love the sound of Christmas. Joy is in the air. The sound of Christmas. Music here, there, everywhere. I love the sound of Christmas. Those reindeer calls waiting by the fire for Santa Claus. Angel choirs dressed in white. Christmas time is here tonight. Here tonight. Here
Bravo.
Sarah,
Bravo.
Sarah, you're just incredible. Oh my God.
You realize Robbie was in that too, right?
Sorry, Robbie. Sorry.
This guy.
I guess it's the hat. It's the red
It's
hat.
the hat. Well, I put the hat on because otherwise this is what my hair looks like. So I thought we should
There we
probably do
Sarah, when you sing like that, it doesn't matter how your hair is. It can be pink, blue, yellow, green. It don't matter, girl.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Man.
Thank you very much.
Ah! Oh my God.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Sarah, we know you have some ironing to do, so we're going to let you go. And I have a couple of shirts I'm going to send you away. All right?
Please. Yes, I'm getting right back to editing for Jam for Jesus. So I'm diving back in.
All
Okay,
right.
you're
Well,
just
we
like
love
Robbie
you, Sarah.
Robinson. You deserve each other. You guys just work.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, Sarah. God bless. We'll see you next week. Robbie, awesome job.
It's a good song, isn't it? I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, it's all right.
And Ray heard it before it was finished, even.
Yeah, it's magical, and it's really the sign of the times. You know, we have to bring people together, and songs like that. It's just, it's really touching and moving, and it's already getting a lot of reviews, and we're so thankful to have it on our show.
Well, it's good. We want to get it out there, so we want all of our listeners and our watchers to help us to share it, help us to get it out there. We need it. We want that to be a big hit record because we need the sound of Christmas. I'll tell you, Steve. Now, this kind of relates to Jam for Jesus a little bit, but songs like that, the times of Christmas, it can make you, because we're all going through rough times now. So many people are struggling. And I had a buddy of mine who's a great musician. He called me last night and he said, man, he says, I see you excited doing your stuff every day and working at it and motivated. And he says, I just can't get into it. And I said, man, you got to rise above it. You got to, like Beethoven said, you have to clutch fate by the throat. You got to, rise above all this stuff that we're in, because every day that God gives us is a gift from us. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today is God's gift. That's why they call it the present. And, everybody's going through tough times, but music like that, songs like that, the Christmas season in general can help lift spirits too.
Yeah, amen to that.
And speaking of Christmas spirit, number one, Tony Melendez is out there and Jesse, who do so much for the people in the Bronx, and just wonderful, wonderful people. And thank you for tuning into the show today. And I love you guys. I will be there to see you very, very soon, okay? And I think it's time to...
Yeah, we have a special
bring
Yankee
on-
guest here.
Well, they're all Yankee guests today.
Okay,
They're all
all right.
they're all Yankees.
Well, we have the voice of the Yankees, kind of Paul Alden. There he goes. Great smile. And
Look at that smile.
Unbelievable smile. He's got a nice hat, too.
Nice hat. It's all right. It doesn't fit like Sarah Nimitz' hat, but it's okay.
But he's right up there.
I mean, it doesn't.
He's right up
It
there.
doesn't even fit like Robbie Robinson's
Yeah,
hat.
but he's got-
Robbie knows how to wear a hat.
All right. Well, you know
we
what?
got to teach Paul
Well,
Olden how
okay,
to wear
well,
a hat.
let's talk to Paul directly. Paul, come on the show here. There he is.
Hey, Paul.
How are you?
How you doing, sir?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you. I want to introduce you to Robbie Robinson from Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons.
Hello there, Robbie. How are you, man?
Hello,
Good to-
Paul. It's such an honor to meet you. My friend Paul Cartier, I know that you are friends with.
Oh yes, absolutely. One of the great organists in the history of the instrument.
That's right. That's
Right.
Okay,
That's
let's not get carried away, Paul.
I know you know me, Paul, but you know this guy over here?
All right, Ray.
Nice,
Ray.
you're doing good, Paul. You're
There we
doing
go.
good. I'm still associated with the Yankees. All right, unbelievable. How are you, my brother? How you been doing?
We're kind of separated from everybody these months, especially. We're not having any fantasy camps down here in Tampa. We're not doing our regular get-togethers. We usually have 4 fantasy camps where a lot of the former Yankees come in, and everybody's dressed up in Yankees outfits, and stories are swapped and told and retold, and they get better every time. But we didn't have those camps this year, and that's a big void in the Yankee off-season world down here in the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah.
But I'm doing okay. Just looking forward to I'm looking forward to getting my COVID shot one of these days soon, I hope, and everything kind of returning back to normal by this time next year.
Wow. I miss your voice because I get to Yankee Stadium, see a game, getting ready for the game, and I hear you announcing the players on both teams, and you know it's just about time for Yankee baseball. So I'm sure you missed it this year, right?
Well, we did the 60 games,
He did
30 of
60
them
games. He was there.
at Yankee Stadium. We did 30 games at Yankee Stadium, so I was there for whatever games they had there. I was there. Of course, the fans weren't there, and that was a big hole in the whole presentation, a big void, I should say. And we're just hoping that things get better, so fans can come back and be with us in 2021 in some form.
Now, Paul, I want you to do me a favor.
What's that?
Robbie Robinson is always talking, bragging, and whatever crap he has to say about the Dodgers.
don't-
Wait,
you said it already.
wait, about the Dodgers. No,
The
it's
world
cool.
champion Dodgers, Ray.
The world,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
yeah, whatever. Anyway, I want you to do me a favor,
What's that?
okay? I want you. I'm gonna make believe in my fantasy world that Robbie Robinson was traded to the New York Yankees, okay, for Paul Cartier, okay? So Robbie Robinson was traded to the Yankees for Paul Cartier and a player to be named later, okay? So
That's an unusual name for a player.
right, well, yeah, right. So what I'd like for you to do is say, now batting number 101, Robbie Robinson.
Now batting number 101,
The man who plays every position, Robbie Robinson.
Yeah! Wow, you got it, Robbie. There you go.
By the way, Robbie, can you see what I'm holding up here?
Uh-oh, there we go. Oh, that's for that little walk was for to get the Dodger hat.
Don't forget, I grew up in Los Angeles, and every year, if the Yankees aren't in the World Series, I'm wearing my Dodger hat around the house here and around town because I still support the Dodgers.
Oh, fantastic.
The Dodgers redid their press box a few years ago.
Right.
And what they did was they put the names of all the reporters who covered the team on the wall down through the years. So my name is actually on the wall of the press box at Dodger Stadium because I covered the team in the 70s. And it's a nice little memento being connected to your hometown team when you I grew up in LA, moved there when I was 4. And so whenever I get a chance to get out to Dodger Stadium, I always
Put the back
get
boys
a
on.
chance to look at my name on the press box wall there in the ballpark. So, but of course, again, if the Yankees aren't in it, then I'm with the Dodgers. But if the Yankees are in it, then I'm Yankees all the way, of course.
Yeah. Ray and I have been lusting after Dodgers-Yankees World Series for years now, but we thought we might have it this past year, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah,
Well,
I did too.
I have a question for Paul real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Paul, you followed a legend. How does it feel? It's like the guy who had to follow Vince Scully, as the Dodgers play-by-play announcer. How was it for you to follow a legend at Yankee Stadium as the announcer?
Well, it's a little different for me from
Yeah.
the guy who came in after Vin Scully.
Right.
And that I had a chance to know Bob Shepard many years before I came in and took over as the PA announcer. So we were pals, longtime friends. We dined together many times at the old Yankee Stadium. So it wasn't as if I was coming in replacing someone that I didn't know, which probably would have put a lot of pressure on me. Instead, it was a pleasure to come in and follow someone whom I knew and respected, and he knew that I understood the importance of the job. So that made the transition that much easier.
Wow, that's pretty cool. But let me just tell you something. Right now, I just want to let you know, I am still very, very upset about this whole Dodger thing. Put the Bat Boys on. Get the Bat Boys on. Get the Bat Boys on. Okay, and I'm just gonna let you know, Paul, that I would have took my graffiti can to Dodger Stadium, but unfortunately, I got the sheriff here, so he heard everything I had to say, so I can't get away with it. Okay, so you're safe. You're safe.
And that's Earl Toulon.
But I want to introduce a former Yankee bat boy from 1979, 1980, and I'm very proud of this guy because he went from being the Yankee bat boy, he went from taking care of Thurman Munson and Reggie and those boys to, in essence, taking care of America as the first African-American sheriff in the history of Long Island and Suffolk County, the wonderful and my dear, dear friend, Earl Toulon. Earl?
Hey, Ray. Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, Earl. Thank you so very much. And thank you for the amazing work that you do for law enforcement.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. It's been a challenging time. How is you and your department in Suffolk County coping with all this?
You know, from first dealing with bail reform, then going right into COVID, then the social unrest after George Floyd's tragedy has been very, very difficult. We seem to be moving past most of that. And now we're, contending with dealing with COVID. And, our numbers have been pretty good inside our jails and our staff has been, pretty safe.
And Earl, let me ask you. What is the let me ask you like this. Is being a Yankee bat boy still the greatest job you ever had?
The best job because I met you, Ray.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
I knew you would say that.
Wow.
Now, how was it to know Reggie? No, but let me ask you this. How was it to know Thurman Munson?
You can see that Thurman was the captain of the team. He was the heart and soul of, the minute he walked into that locker room, when he walked on the field, when he took infield, you just knew in the dugout that was a leader, of the team. And unfortunately, that 1979 season was tragic, starting with, Cliff Johnson and Goose Gossage getting into a little scuffle in the shower, and then, of course, the untimely death of Thurman. But, Thurman was a consummate leader, someone that you looked at, someone you kept very quiet, especially as a bat boy. Some players you can talk to, but around Thurman, you were very quiet.
How was it with Reggie?
It was nice because, they had the bat boys lockers around Reggie. So we had a little bit more interaction. Thurman was closer to the trainer's room at the time. And so we did have little limited interaction with Reggie, whether he needed something in the locker room, he wanted to have a catch on the field. And then, of course, whenever we were the ball boys down the right field line, he would always talk to us and always have a conversation, and we would always have a catch with him.
How was it with Billy Martin?
Billy was interesting because he came on the second half of that 79 season after they fired Bob Lemon. And so, of course, he was there when Thurman had passed away. And, you could see, he was definitely a leader in the team. He was the manager. There was no one else that was going to tell him. He often listened to Yogi, as his confidant, because Yogi was always close to him, especially on the bench. So, it was an interesting dynamic for a 17-year-old kid.
And let me ask you, what about the aspect in 1980? How did it feel for you? I mean, was it a new feeling from the standpoint of that Thurman was gone? Did it feel like we had to start again?
Well, yes, because we had Rick Cerrone. I'm trying to think of, so we had Rick Cerrone. Chris Chambliss was traded away. We got Bob Watson. We still had Willie, Bucky. We had Ron Guidry, of course. Catfish was still there. But, you can see there was some dynamics. There was no true leadership on the team. But, we were the Yankees, and we felt like, we could win in any season. And so, of course, we won 103 games under Dick Hauser, but lost 3 straight to the Royals in the playoffs.
Unbelievable. Now, let's bring on another bad boy from then we would move on to the 1980s, and we had Sean DeRosa, who was there with Don Mattingly. Sean?
Hey, Ray. How's everybody doing?
Good, Sean. Thank you for joining Reach Out with Ray and Steve. How was your time with the Yankees in the 80s and being with around Don Mattingly?
My time was fantastic. Don Mattingly, he's everything that's ever been written about him. He's a class act. He works very hard. He's very humble, and everything, all the nice accolades that he's ever received over his career and as a manager, it's all legitimate and true. I enjoyed spending a lot of time with him. He used to let me help him out in the batting cage when he was hitting off the tee, as well as a lot of the players. And I happened to be there at a unique time when Buck Showalter was coming up through the system, and also a lot of your players that helped win the championships in 96, 97, 98 with Bernie Williams and Jim Leyritz. When I spent the years with the Yankees in the spring training, I also spent 3 years as the Fort Lauderdale Yankees bat boy. So Buck Showalter was my manager for 2 years. We won the championship with Bernie Williams in single A, and Jim Leyritz, Kevin Moss, Jason Moss, Hensley Mullins. These were all players that went to the big leagues, and I could tell they were going to be big league players when I was around them in the minor leagues. Andy Stankiewicz was on that team. It was great to get to know the players as minor leaguers and see them make it to the major league club.
How was it dealing with, because you were there at a unique time when, for a moment there, you had Reggie and Dave Winfield. How did you feel about that?
Well, I just missed Reggie Jackson, but I had Winfield there. Winfield used to work out with me on the in '88 when he was having the bad back issues and he wouldn't make all the trips to play all the games. Me and him would go out on the field a little bit, throw, and he would work with me as an outfielder about my approach. But Reggie wasn't on the team. Reggie came back as an instructor, and actually, a funny story with Reggie was when I walked into the clubhouse in spring training, Reggie was very nice to me, said, "Hello, how you doing?" I said hello to him. And he said, "Well, where did you play last year?" He thought I was a professional baseball player. And I said, "Reggie, I didn't play anywhere last year. I'm the bat boy."
Unbelievable. But before we move on to the next bat boy, there's a bat boy from early, before they were champions, from 1971. His name is Ray Avila, and he says on the board, "Remember, I was there before Ray Negron." That means you're a really old man. Okay? Ray Avila, you're a very old man. Go back to your rocking chair.
And before we get to the next bat boy, I think Paul is golfing on the air there.
Paul's always golfing.
There he goes. Nice swing, Paul.
What else is he going to do when he's announcing players?
Wow.
I swing and listening to the show. That Christmas song, by the way, was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
Well, keep going, keep shooting. They got a great shot there.
Well, listen, I want to get to the next bat boy. Okay, who was there during the Derek Jeter, David Cohn era, and his name is Luis Squeegee Castillo Paralinga de Patera Patanielo Paseanata.
Wow.
Yeah, there he
All
is
those
now.
names? Wow.
Well, are you from Mexico, Dominican Republic, or Puerto Rico? Where you from?
How old are you, 17 still? What's going on here?
Hey, Robbie Robinson, how do you deal with these two, man?
I have a question for you, Luigi. As a matter of fact, I have a question for all of the bat boys. What's the inside story? What do the bat boys really say about Ray Negron as a bat boy?
Nice question, Robbie.
Hey, I got a couple of players that have called me, right?
Yeah.
They say, "Hey, that guy Ray, where all his hair went, man? That guy had the worst afro in the 70s.
Yeah, I know, man.
Nice.
You just jealous. You just jealous because the style in the 70s was better. You could ask Earl Toulon. He had as big an afro as me. Okay?
Hey, Ray, I do tell you this, man. You do have an influence on my oldest son, Louis, who has, David Cohn has said that he has the hairstyle of Oscar Gamble. So you, Ray, have been an influence to my son, Luis Castillo, man. So
Well, even though it's just hair, it's okay. Louis, how was it working with Derek Jeter?
He was everything you can imagine in the tabloids and in person, man. He's a class act. He truly was a leader. You know, he always treated from the highest superstar player to a bat boy to a towel guy. He had time for everyone and gave everyone nicknames. And to be around him was pretty cool. He was down to earth and treated everyone and showed everyone by example. And that's what I think what made him one of the, you know, amongst best captains like Thurman Munson in the clubhouse and the likes of David Cohn. And he was a true leader. And what you see is what you get. It's nothing phony about Jeter.
Hey, you ended up winning 3 World Series. How did that feel?
I felt like a rock star, man. You know, the players treated you like one of them, just like they did in the 70s, Ray, honestly speaking. And even the players that were coaches from your time that were players like Willie Randolph was real great. And, you know, they made you feel a part of the team, like giving you handshakes in the dugout and making you feel a part of the parade, which was the ticker tape parade was one of my best feelings as a kid, you know, hitting that curve down the Canyon of Heroes, man. And you feel that crowd, you feel that love and all the hard work you went through 162 games and the playoffs and the World Series. You see the players act like little kids, man. And those 3 years, 98, 99, and 2000, I never even imagined that. One was good, 98. But having back-to-back with the great Mariano Rivera always closing out games, we knew he was going to close it out all the time, was an awesome feeling. And almost, you know, seeing the boss down in the clubhouse, George Steinbrenner, and interact and act like a little kid and holding that trophy and Jeter would pour champagne over his head was pretty awesome experience.
You know, Squeegee, Sean brought up Bernie Williams coming up the ranks. How was your rapport with Bernie?
Bernie, for Christmas, he lives in Westchester County. I'm sending him an alarm clock because I would always wake him up. And he would say, hey, Squeegee, right before batting practice, I'm going to take a 15-minute nap. Wake me up. And he would sleep with his bat in his uniform. Wow. So I'm definitely going to send Bernie Williams an alarm clock for Christmas.
Did you ever forget to wake him up?
Never, because he was a great tipper.
Oh, nice.
But real quick, Squeegee, relive the time with David Cohn in case we have some first viewers there, because before his perfect game, you were right there with him.
Tell him what happened.
Oh, man. July 18th, 1999, I got to make history with my childhood idol. It was the Montreal Expos, and Javier Vasquez was on the mound. And Sonny Hyatt, the administrator, comes down. He says, all right, guys, we got to get ready. We got 20 minutes or so to get ready back on the field. And the Montreals were on the field. David Girardi, at the time, he was, I don't know, in the lounge or somewhere. And David was looking for someone to warm up with. And I was walking out the clubhouse with a ball and a glove in my hand. He goes, hey, Squeege, want to have a catch? So we go into Bowsy Yankee Stadium, and the pipes were real low. And here's David winging them at 90 plus miles per hour.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And skipping them off the roof. And he tells me, hey, the pipes are too low, Squeegee. Can we go on the field? And David walks out, and here are the fans. Hey, David, can I get a ball? And, you know, I'm nervous, and the team is pulling it into the dugout. And we had about 10 or 15 tosses. I threw one bounced him. Nonchalant, he picks it up. He tells me, thank you, buddy. And that's the only warming up he did that day. And I kept the ball in my back pocket, the one we warmed up with, not thinking about a perfect game, but that I just got to warm up with my childhood idol on Yogi Berra Day. Yeah. And a couple of innings later, on the ninth inning, pop up to Scott Brocious, we got a perfect game. And in the clubhouse, we hugged each other, and he signed a picture for me that we will always be connected. And he's very thankful that I warmed him up that day.
Wow. And I feel very proud at the fact that, you know, when a player does that and remembers the Bat Boys that way, it hits my heart because, you know, a lot of guys don't do that. I mean, Earl Talone, tell us, I mean, who was your guy, Earl?
I would have to say probably Willie Randolph. He was the guy that I would always go to, especially when, you know, you're a young 17-year-old kid in this locker room amongst men, amongst heroes, you know, throughout the nation, because we're the New York Yankees. And, I can go and I can sit and talk to Willie, and he would give me some brotherly advice.
Now, I understand that all throughout your college career as a player, you wore Willie's number?
That's right. I wore number 30.
Unbelievable.
Great guy.
And now as the main police officer here, do you wear number 30 on your back of your uniform now?
No, I'm number 1 here.
Hey, Paul, I gotta tell you something. If you ever catch Steve Vaccaro in your town, make sure you make sure he stays under the speed limit.
No, that's Earl.
No, that's Earl. That's Earl.
Earl,
When
sorry,
I'm
Earl,
in
make
when
sure,
I'm in New York,
make sure
I don't.
stays under the speed limit.
I'm in New
Now-
York. I don't drive.
Sean,
Yes.
I don't
Yes,
drive
Brandon.
in New York anymore.
who was your favorite player, Sean?
My first favorite player growing up was Reggie Jackson. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And obviously, when Don Mattingly became a member of the team, it became Don Mattingly. But Donnie and Reggie and I had a lot of love for Willie and Winfield. But my first 2 favorite Yankees were Reggie and Donnie.
How about you, Squeegee?
My favorite player and idol is David Cohn, and the man that helped me out and I look up to as a leader, Derek Jeter, man.
So, Squeege, you're also connected with the Bleacher Creatures. How fun is it out there when you get those guys going?
Oh, man. You have different ethnic groups, man, out there, and they all get along. It's 300 Bleacher Creatures, man, and Milton, the cowbell guy, and Tina Lewis, the queen of the bleachers. You guys, Steve, you got to get out there. All you guys here, and Robbie, too, got to come out there. One game, man, and you see the cowbell going, and you see how 300 people can control a stadium and get the team to rally up and win a ball game, man.
All right. I love how they express their feelings about the box seat people. So that's great.
I'm not going to say that on camera.
Earl Toulon.
Yes.
So you spent 2 years on the field. You're like with the Yankees, their bat boys are different than any other team's bat boys. With the other teams around the league, they're just bat boys. But with the Yankees, they really make you feel like you're one of the players. So for 2 years, when you're one of the guys, and then you leave, how was it? How did you feel to come back to Yankee Stadium?
Not only did I feel great, I felt welcomed. I met with Hal Steinbrenner. You were kind enough to reintroduce us because there's a little history between me and Hal when he was a young 8 or 9-year-old kid that came into the clubhouse. And you always felt like you were one of the team, not maybe a player, but you were always part of the Yankee family.
Wow. How about you, Squeegee? When you go back.
Oh, Ray,
there we go.
You never leave me alone. I can't watch a damn inning, Ray. I love it. I love it. You guys are, the organization are a class act. That believe in second, third chances and everything, man. And what you guys do for the communities, it just feels great just to be a Yankee and feel the love from the fans and everybody there, man. And just talking history and teach the younger generation about it too. And I will always represent the Yankee organization the right way.
Sean, how about you?
I feel a lot of love. Bumped. I can time because it was the happiest time in my life, and I'm very grateful that the Steinbrenner family has continued to be welcoming to me. Jenny Swindle, in many aspects, has been very welcoming and hospitable, but I miss it, and I think about it and wish I could go back in time.
We should have a Bat Boy Day at the stadium.
Well, we're having a Bat Boy Day right here, and Ray Avila is saying that the Yankees don't recognize the Bat Boys enough. Well, you know what? What do you think this is, Avila? We're recognizing the Bat Boys right here, and we're showing the love right here. Bat Boys, you're Bat Boys forever. And I know for me, it's the best job that I ever had. I wish I could be a Batman right now. You know what I'm saying? And I love you guys. Thank you for coming on the show today. It's been a blast.
Happy
Thank
holidays,
you.
guys.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you very
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Guys.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Thank you so very much.
Oh, wait, hey, I'm proud of all of you. And Earl, thank you for your service, brother.
Thank you, man. God bless.
Oh, and thank you for looking out for my 2 sons.
God bless. And I'll be driving 55. Don't worry about that, Earl. Don't worry about it. I'm on it.
See you, Squeegee. See you, Sean. I love you guys.
Love you.
Paul Alden. Thank you, Paul Alden.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Nice
You're
golf
welcome.
swing.
Happy
God
holidays.
bless.
Thanks.
God bless, sir. Robbie, what do you think of all these Bat Boys and Paul
Amazing.
Alden?
And I love that Paul is a Dodger fan. What do you think of that?
Oh, there we go. Well,
Yeah, but I didn't like when he said
That's what-
I didn't like when he said Paul Cartier was like one of the, come on.
So wait, Robbie.
He's all right. I mean,
Robbie,
come on.
we've been doing this for 45 minutes. That's what you take away from all this?
No, he's
You know what? I think, you know what? I don't think the fans really know how important the Bat Boys are. They are a glue for that whole team, and they're an important fabric of that team makeup, and I think this showed it today.
So, Robbie, you're jamming for Jesus. Kind of help us along the way because it's still going on, correct?
Tomorrow night is going to be part 2. It's going to be 6 o'clock California time, 9 o'clock East Coast time, and we're going to have part 2. It's all new, all different from last week, and it's going to be an amazing thing. We're going to lift up the sound of Christmas by lifting up the joy of the Lord.
Love it.
That's beautiful, and so many
Love
people,
it!
So many people need that, and just by watching you and Sarah navigate through that whole show last week was a beautiful thing. So, how can people tune in to see it tomorrow?
They can go on. It's Jam for Jesus Facebook page. Just go on Facebook, Jam for Jesus, or they can go on Jam and Java YouTube page, or if they just go to Robbie Robinson's Facebook page, you can find it from there.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be streamed on Ray and Steve tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes. We've been streaming. I shared it, and you had thousands and thousands and thousands of viewers.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing right there.
Yeah, we had 15,000 so far.
God bless. That is amazing. Thank you so very much for putting that together. Now we have a little video. What are we going to see right now, Robbie?
This is a part of the show from last week. Now, this is from a couple years ago. This is Sarah Nimitz singing with the Jam for Jesus band, which is like the best musicians on the planet.
We have. I don't know if we have it. We have a toy drive video. I don't know if that's it. Okay.
Sales are down, but the demand is up. With Christmas just over 2 weeks away, a desperate need for toys this holiday. News 12 Sean and Orion has the story.
Last year we had over 300 boxes out there.
All right, we had some little mishap there, but I think what we're going to do, Robbie, you can segue this again. We're going to end the show again with the great song that you have in case people...
Fantastic.
So this way people could hear it. Next week we'll have a review of that. But again, how can people see this show and reach out to you?
Okay, they can go on Jam for Jesus Facebook page, or they can go on Jam and Java YouTube page, or they can go out to the Reach Out with Ray and Steve Facebook page, and they can watch it right there.
And it's on YouTube. God bless.
New York.
Thank you, Robbie. And we have another great show next week and lined up. It's going to be
Who do we
great.
have lined up for next
We
week?
have Dwight Gooden.
Dwight Gooden is going to be on next week.
Yes.
And Ron Duguay.
Ron Duguay, hockey player.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great show and a great musical guest, which to be announced.
To be announced, yes.
That's
Okay.
right. Well, in case...
And we will have a message from Jose Feliciano next week because it's Christmas.
Yes.
It's
That's
Christmas, and so, like here in New York with all the Latinos, Feliz Navidad. This is the 50th anniversary of Feliz Navidad.
Wow. Well,
we're gonna. You know who's saying Feliz Navidad for us last week was Chris Montez.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
Excellent
Yes,
job.
yes.
Excellent job. And we'll get Chris back on the show, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But we're going to take us home with your new song. Robbie, segue one more time.
Okay, this is the sound of Christmas. Everybody loves the sound of Christmas in the classic Christmas style.
God.
I love the sound of Christmas on the radio. Alvin, the Chipmunks, and Nat King cold, we're singing together the songs we know while we watch the snow. I love the sound of Christmas when sleigh bells start to ring, gathering together and caroling, joy and laughter for old and young. Christmas time has come. I love the sound of Christmas. Joy is in the air. The sound of Christmas. Music here, there, everywhere. I love the sound of Christmas. Hear those reindeer paws waiting by the fire for Santa Claus. Angels, choirs dressed in white. Christmas time is here tonight. Here I love the sound of Christmas. Joy is in the air. The sound of Christmas. Music here, there, everywhere. I love the sound of Christmas. Those reindeer calls waiting by the fire